First off, tell us your name and your title.
Okay, I'm Leigh Barba. I'm the Executive Director of the Rome Area History Museum.
Tell me a little bit about the summer events that's coming.
Oh my goodness. Well, coming up after that, we have some different lectures coming up on the archaeology of Northwest Georgia and, of course, the original settlers and Native Americans here. And so we're hoping to get Dr. Jim Langford to help with that talk. He's a wonderful authority. I've been on archaeological digs with him. And so that's going to be a lot of fun coming up. We have lectures on some of the businesses downtown, including the history of Southeastern Mills. They got their start in 1941. And we take these snapshots to sort of show people what's going on with a certain industry, how that relates to business, what was going on in the town, what was going on in the nation, and even in the world during this time span. It gives you really a good picture of history, so it's not just focused in on one thing, but it gives you a broader perspective on that time period.
And how long have you been involved with the Rome Area History Museum?
Well, I've been involved for a little over 2 years now, and it's been wonderful. It's been one of the greatest privileges of my life, doing things that will hopefully help future generations and preserving history.
As far as getting the Rome Area History Museum out, not just in Floyd County, but other areas, getting folks here, what have you done and what are some changes that you've done to really liven things up here?
Oh my word. Well, first of all, we have a lot more interactive website. We do social networking. We're on Facebook. We have a Facebook site. We do promotions in different ways to people outside the area. We do have quite a few guests coming in through the Chamber of Commerce. They want to see a little about the history here and different cultural aspects. So, you know, we like to think we're an important part in this. We have a newly renovated upstairs, so people can come in. They can research history and genealogy, you know, enjoy a cup of coffee, which I usually make free of charge for the public when they come in. We have an event space so people can have family reunions, different wonderful events of their lives. Right now they're setting up upstairs for a wedding that's taking place here tomorrow. So, you know, we want it to be a real community place. We want it to be informative for people just coming to the Rome area, but we also want it to be a place where the Rome area can come to learn more about their history and enjoy and get together with other people.
And several exhibits have changed throughout the years to keep it fresh and whatnot?
Oh yes, absolutely, and we hope to have more. We receive no government funding, which is a blessing and a curse in times of cutbacks. We know we're not going to get cut, but at the same time, it's a very limited budget. We work solely on donations, and we've been very blessed that even in a time of economic crisis, people have really opened up their hearts and their wallets to help us out, to literally keep the lights on and keep the programs going. And so there's so much to preserve and to do, and just the preservation alone of objects and artifacts, you know, costs a certain amount of money, dehumidification, different things we have to do. There's a lot that goes into it that the public might not know just wandering around. As far as exhibits, we're always adding to them because history is constantly being made. And in fact, we have a Civil Rights Black History exhibit. And we would do things during Black History Month. And then it's like, wow, we have all of this great stuff. Why are we putting it up? Let's go ahead and do an exhibit, a full-fledged exhibit on our lobby floor to really highlight these things. We have a fascinating Black history in this area, and we need to show it. You know, Civil War, civil rights, everything before and after, from the Native Americans up to current day, changing demographics. I mean, history is happening all around us. So we're trying to incorporate more recent history, as well as always getting artifacts and different things for the older parts of our history. We are always looking for important historical donations.
You personally, were you always a big history buff?
Oh, always. Absolutely. I grew up here. My father, a huge history buff, he actually got the Dixie out of the Coosa at one point when I was a little bitty girl, and I watched him pulling that up with a big crane, and he'd go underwater. I've actually swum in the Coosa River. We went under there with an underwater camera to take pictures of the old paddle wheeler that was sunk on the bottom of the river. So before he did that, we actually have documentation of that. And of course, from finding arrowheads as a child, my grandfather was big on teaching me about the Cherokee Indians and the Creeks, the people who lived here before the settlers did. Just so much of my family history. My family has been in Rome and Cave Spring since before it was an incorporated town. So that side of my family has been here for a very long time, you know, fought in the war. And my grandfather, my goodness, he serviced the clock tower for 60 years. He was a master watchmaker. My uncle Bob Brock He put the clock actually in the courthouse. So that was something that was meant to be put in the 1890s, but they didn't have the budget to do it then. And so actually it wasn't until about the 1980s that they put in part of the original design. So that's when he completed that. So I'm very proud of my family's connection with the local history here.
And again, as far as more information, how can they reach the Roman Area History Museum?
Well, they can look us up online at www.romehistorymuseum.com, or they can call us at 706-235-8051, or just drop on by. We're at 305 Broad Street.